Hi, everyone. I'm Trixi, aka the Thoughtful Beast. I am the curator for Motions and Emotions, Filipino American Stories of Healing. I am here with some artists from the exhibit who I'm really excited to introduce you to and talk to you about. If you haven't seen the exhibit, it's in Liberty Station at New Americans Museum. New Americans Museum is amazing. The art is there until this Sunday, February 19th. So, we're just going to go around and we can popcorn. I'm going to start with introductions. So, I'm going to start with Miko. Tell us your name, what you'd like to know about us, and what you did, what you created.
My name is Vico Aguilar. I have a collage as part of the Motions and Emotions exhibit by Trixi, and I'm primarily a music producer, but I also like to do arts, digital, and try to transfer them on paper. So that's what I have at show right now.
I'm Bianca. My pronouns are she, they, and I am a visual artist. I have three pieces inspired by sabungero, which is Filipino cockfighting. So, yeah.
Hey, I am Liza. I'm from Long Beach. I have one piece in the show, and it's a selfie or self portrait, and it's me in the um, Statue of Liberty outfit.
Awesome. Yay. I'm so excited to have the three of you. Yay. First internet artist talks. First online. There you go. I was like, this is wrong.
Virtual.
Virtual. Thank you. Virtual artist talks. The first question I have for you guys was, and I think most of you already answered this from opening night, but why did you apply to Motions and Emotions? Anyone want to start?
I'll go.
Yes.
um, art being part of the fine art world is really new to me. I just started doing art during the pandemic, and people were encouraging me to submit my work, and it's just gotten such an amazing reception everywhere. Like I've been getting accepted to so many places, and so now people send me submissions all the time. And my cousin, who lives in San Diego, sent this to me, and my plate is so full right now. But when he sent that to me, I thought I need to be a part of this. And so I submitted, and I'm very grateful to you for choosing my piece.
Awesome. Next. Oh, that's
Um,
Bianca. Muted
yeah.
herself.
Yeah, I'll go. So, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to do this show was, well, my friend sent me the link for it. And when I looked more into the details about what the show was, it was like kind of perfect for me because everything that I was kind of doing before was kind of leading up to it. Like, I mean, I've always done art. I think I knew as a kid that I always wanted to do art, but it wasn't until recently what I wanted to do exactly, because there's always that discussion well, for me, it was like, do I want to be an illustrator? Do I want to be a painter? What is it about the art world that I really want to get into? And so I just started getting more into fine art and just painting. And I finished up my last painting class at City College, which was pretty much that whole series, well, part of it, of the like sabongeros. And yeah, it's probably like my most invested series that I have so far, and it just really worked out. Like like it was just really good timing for everything for me, and yeah,
Nice. Well, I'm excited. That's cool to know that
yeah,
like that was what you did for City. That's
yeah.
great.
Like I have like other paintings from there too, but I just decided like those three because I had been working on them for the longest. Just they needed to be together to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree. Agree. Super agree. Miko.
What was the question? Why I joined primarily for to meet other Filipino creatives. I've always wanted to be part of an exhibition. My last one was back in the Philippines the year I left, and that's been like 7 years already. And I told myself last year because I see my art as just like part of my music because I see them hand in hand. But then I've been wanting to have my art to have its own thing too. And then Trixie told me about her plans, so I said like this would be a good first dip into the art world here in San Diego, here in the States, to be with fellow Filipinos with the same stories and hearing other versions of my story.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to all of you, and I want to applaud all of you for applying because applying is hard. Like when you put yourself out there, knowing that like rejection is just like a fact of life, especially in the arts, it's really difficult. I want to say that though, like, but you applied. There are so many people like I told I was doing this and they did not apply. And I don't know why, and hopefully it's not like I don't know. But it's cool that you guys ended up applying. I want to just encourage people just apply to things, even if you're not going to make it, because you'll never know. Like, and the art world now is being more like actually inclusive with wanting to hear different people's points of view. And like that's what's important. Like how long you've been doing it isn't necessarily as important as it used to be. Yeah.
True.
So I just wanted to put that out there, and I wanted to say congratulations for applying, for being chosen by the committee. And it's been really nice to have your artwork. And my next question for you guys is what was it like to have your artwork be in this Filipino space and meet other Filipino creators?
I'll go. For me, it was like super validating as an artist and as a Filipino American that like it was just so crazy to me that we all just have such similar experiences, yet being our own individuals from completely different places. Like, kind of like how you were talking about on opening night, like the Philippines is comprised of like several thousand islands, several thousand dialects. We're all different people, but when we come to the States, it's like we're all sharing that struggle, and to me, it was just a really beautiful moment. And since I'm like I feel like it was my first real art event as like an artist, it was super, super validating, So yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
think for me, I said in the exhibit in that video we did, I was a performing artist in my former career. I was a dancer. And I couldn't get cast as a Filipino dancer. And I danced for the Polynesian community and Samoan, Tahitian, Maori. I did belly dancing for the Persian community. I was a ballet dancer, and I danced in the Vietnamese community. And it was crazy that I would go to Filipino castings and nobody wanted me. I was too short. I'm 4'10". I was too dark because I loved to tan back then. It was really dark. And I felt like I just was too Filipino. I didn't have that like mestiza look with the tiny nose that they liked back then. I'm 51 now. So this was my career back in like between 1989 to about 2001. And so I'm so grateful to be part of this because I feel like the Filipino community is a lot more inclusive now. Like, you don't have to be 5'8" to be in entertainment anymore. You don't have to be half. Like, they're starting to embrace like people that don't have any mixed blood. I think I'm 90. According to 23andMe, I'm 97.6% Filipino.
Nice. Liza, I have a question. Did you do Paris by Night?
I didn't do Paris by Night. I did Maxim though, which was like it was like another company like that. But I had
Yeah.
a lot of friends in Paris by Night.
Nice, nice. Because when you're like, oh, Vietnamese shows, Paris by Night. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's very interesting, and I would like to talk about that more in a second. Let's let Miko answer the question. Wait, did you already answer? No. Go.
I did. No, just kidding. Um, I agree with Bianca. Like it was validating for a first show here, and just seeing everyone and realizing that like a lot of the artists are from outside San Diego too. So it just makes our world smaller and it feels more unified, knowing we have somewhat the same stories and we all want the same thing. Um, yeah, that it was very warm. Like it felt warm for me. It felt like home or like a new
Oh,
home. Yeah.
That's
that's
nice.
so nice. Yeah, that's cool. That's so nice. I want to go back to what Liza was saying. With people are more inclusive now. People accept like because I see this a lot. I still think we see this a lot. Like, and not even just for Filipinx folks, but like Asian folks. It's like you got to be half. You got to be half Asian, half white. Because then
Especially if
basically,
you're watching like TFC, even
yeah,
the
Yeah.
actors there would be lighter skin.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
where my brown tan Filipinos at?
because we're brown. Because
Yeah.
we're brown. How do you guys feel about that? Do you all feel like things are getting more inclusive, or like I just have I have like general questions about this because like inclusivity is like interesting because we can talk about it like being Filipinos in America, and then we can talk about like yeah inclusivity and what that and what diversity looks like in the Philippines and on Filipino TV. So I guess I'm just asking for like general thoughts about that. If you see any change like over the years. I know like we all do like different kinds of arts too. Or if Bianca, I know like you just finished college.
No, I'm still in
You're
college.
still in college, so
I applied to SDSU. I'm waiting to hear back from them.
nice. So then it would also be interesting to hear your point of view about like what inclusivity, especially like for Filipino
Yeah.
people, look like here. Let's actually start with Liza because it was her
Oh,
question originally. Or her
well,
statement originally.
I've been around the longest. You could be my child, Bianca. But I've seen so much change. I know a lot of people say we have so much more to go, but I mean, the like people didn't even know what Filipinos were when I was growing up. Like you didn't even have anybody to say, oh, like Saweetie, or you couldn't say Nicole Scherzinger. Like there was nobody you could point to say like I'm from the Philippines. They'd say, are you Chinese or Japanese? You know, and that was pretty much it. So we've come a very long way, even though it might not feel like it's a lot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have a godmother who lives out in Kansas City, and there's like this whole population of Filipinos over there. I'm like, what the heck? How'd you get over to Kansas City, Missouri? What's over there? And she was a teacher, and she would tell me that some students would just ask her, "What is a Filipino?" They've never heard of a
Yeah.
Filipino out there. It's crazy.
And now, like, our food is even in Trader Joe's. They have ube ice cream. That was people don't even know what ube is. I mean, still, but they're learning.
For me, it's different. I feel like at least from back home, like around the time when I left, like I feel it's still the same here right now, where for them to recognize creatives like us, we have to be recognized by other races first before they even consider looking us up, unless we're like friends or um. But yeah, if I feel like I feel the energy, a shift in energy that's beneficial to us. And a lot of like Filipinos are making great strides in the community and in the creative industry. and I feel that like the right sense of Filipino pride is shining now. Um, I don't really like relate to like what Liza and Liaka said just because I didn't grow up here. So like for me, I came here where everything is opening up. So in my eyes, like it's always
Oh.
been like that. But then hearing stories of like I would hear stories about these struggles from other minorities, but hearing them from Filipinos, like it's still new to me. But then I realized that it is true because it's the same as from back in the Philippines. As Asians, like we were not even considered as Asians because we're like more brown, and we are the only English speaking country there. So like like at the very core, like Filipinos are really different. So it's hard to put us in like just one box.
Yeah, that's super true. I want to say, like Liza, like I super agree. Like I feel like there has to have been so much change, and there was so much change that's being made, and I love that, and I think that's super important for us to remember. And then I also love that people are still hungry for progress. So it's like we should always want more, but it's also important to like see how far we've come, because if we don't, then this shit gets depressing. You know what I mean? Like it gets depressing if we don't actually think we're moving forward. And of course, we all want it way faster than it should be. It's easy to be like, oh, it's 2023, but like the civil rights movement happened in the 70s. Like that's not that far long ago. Like,
Yeah, I was born in the
Yeah.
70s.
and so like, could things be better? Hell yes. But it's cool to know, you know, especially with you being a performer that whole time, for you to be able to see that change, like as time has shifted, and like to feel that as an artist as yourself is really cool. And I feel like because there's more Filipino artists, for me that just like seems like progress. For me, that's
Mhm.
progress. Because you know, we're supposed to be doctors or nurses.
Nurses.
Yeah, and so the fact that there are more artists coming out for me seems like progress, even though, you know, we still have our families, and of course they're worried about having stable lives. um, Money is always going to be a big thing for everyone. Like financial stability is going to be a big thing for everyone, but I do enjoy that there are more people like us, just other minorities, like coming out and being artists and like really going for it, because like that's supposed to be what we're going for. Progress is us having more choices and being able to feel like we can actually take them. Not
Yeah.
saying that it's easy, but actually being in a place where we can take new opportunities that our families didn't even comprehend that would be real for us. And so like it makes me super smile when anyone has like a super supportive family and stuff like that. And I think things are just changing. So I feel it. I remember when there's this mother at a San Diego Filipino cinema event, and she brought her son because her son was interested in film. I don't know if you remember Brody, Miko. And like, yeah, she brought her son because her son was like, "Oh, I'm interested in film." And she's just like, "Okay, well then I want to see what it's about." She didn't say no. She's like, "Okay, then I want to understand." And so she brought him to the San Diego Filipino cinema. Oh my gosh.
Film festival.
I know. Cinema, like one of their events where like you got to talk with like these established Filipino directors, like all these different Filipino artists, and like she was like, "Oh, yeah, no, this is a thing." She's like, "Not that I didn't think it was, but it made her feel better as a parent to see like other people be established, like this was an actual choice that her child could take."
Yeah.
And she was like, "I just want him to be happy, and I just want to support him." And I was like, like, because it was so nice, you know. And so like
Yeah.
I feel like progress is happening, and I love seeing it. Yeah. Before I ask my next question, because I can just keep going with questions, do you guys have any questions for each other?
No.
I have a
No.
comment for Bianca.
Yeah.
Was that your picture on your Instagram where you drew like a cock like the rooster coming out of a zipper.
Yeah.
I am so jealous of that picture. I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
Actually, when I made that, it was also a series I did for my when I was in City College for my Painting 2 class. Um, I did a whole series of mini sort of meme internet paintings. So I found that picture online. I was like, that's perfect. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it was
But
amazing.
I lost that painting actually.
Oh,
There was some kind of pop-up show that I made, and I don't know, it was one of my smaller pieces, so I misplaced it somewhere. Now it's just drifting somewhere out there in San Diego.
how did your class receive the works that you did? Like, did they have questions about sabong or about just like?
Some, yeah, like when I was working on it that semester, last semester, I actually had
My AirPod died. Or my other one. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
so that semester there were actually two older Filipino men in that class, and I kind of bonded with them. They're like my titos. And one of them actually, he had, like, I just really connected with him because he was just so open about his life. But he was just telling me his experiences because his daughter used to go to City College, but she committed suicide.
Mm.
And I, like, when he told me that, and then he started going there for painting classes, I'm like, this is just like, I don't know. To me, it was incredible because, like, there's a Filipino dad open about his emotions. Like, wow. And like, I just really bonded with him, and like it was just nice to see that, Tito's just kind of being interested in what I was doing. Typically, like, in my family, it was just like, okay, well, one of the younger children, like, I don't get a lot of like attention like that from them,
Yeah.
It's just like they're very involved in their own lives and their own focuses. And when I got to that class, it's such a communal space, and I felt like I just got to connect with, like, people of my background, of an older generation, in just a new way. Yeah, I love City College, especially the art department. My art professor there was just such a mentor to me.
Oh, shout out to your professor. What's their
Yeah.
name?
Wayne Holgan at City College.
Yes.
He's the shit. I used to be his student aide for like 2 years.
That's awesome.
So I feel like, yeah, San Diego has like City College has had a huge impression on me as an artist.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's so good to hear. That's wonderful. Okay, so on the subject of that kind of stuff and being able to connect, I want to ask you, and it doesn't have to be about the specific piece that you put in the exhibit, but I guess first, is art healing for you? Is doing your art healing for you? And if it is, how is it healing for you? I'm gonna pop it to Miko first.
Yeah, it is definitely healing. I think for me, that's why it was hard for me to share it at first, because it was my healing. Like, for me to expose that also exposes my fears and my doubts on myself. And I was scared of that conversation and like this question being asked to me. But I feel also that it helps me so much that I feel that this conversation is ready to be spread or to branch out to other people.
Nice.
I feel that, like, art in itself is like it the power to heal grows the more you share your art, the more you express. So I feel like it is necessary for us to come out and tell people we create, because it helps us connect to the other people who's looking for healing as well.
For me, art, I definitely believe it's healing. I think any form of art, whether it be writing, painting, like any other medium of it, it allows us to connect to our subconscious, all the stuff that we bury down, you know? And when we just let that flow out, we can just, I think it lets us really reflect on our thoughts in a way too. And when we make art, it can be interpreted in so many other ways that when it connects to people, you get a completely new emotion, new feeling, or just some kind of memory attached to that,
Yeah.
you know? And I feel like just all forms of art have that power. So yeah.
I think, well, for me, I started because I had a lot of anxiety and depression, and I just discovered my voice in art during the pandemic when I had a lot of anxiety and depression. I started submitting it just at the encouragement of other people, but it's all still just it's like I just put myself out there just for people to see, kind of raw, and I'm just glad it resonates with people. But ultimately, I didn't have the intention of it being like a career, but it's turning into that now. Like it's turning into a third career for me.
Yes, multiple career.
Well, I went from dancer. I'm a makeup artist now for the sports broadcasting, and yeah, now artist too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I agree with all of you with it being healing, and like sometimes you don't even know that's what's happening until it is happening, and art can open so many doors. And I said this, I don't remember if I said that opening, but I know I said it during the performances where it's like I really believe that art like creates empathy, like, and that connects to what like you guys are saying. It just does. It creates empathy because it allows us to be seen for people. It allows us to be people, and then allows other people to see us and then also see themselves. And what, and we don't always have like the right words to say to convey how we feel, or sometimes we do have words but we can't convey them as us, so we might turn them into a script where someone else is saying them. But the fact that all artists want to convey something, that they want to talk to people, that they want to communicate, I just find it very human. Like
Yeah.
it's something that we all want to do. And so again, like I'm really grateful for the things you guys shared, and for being able to talk about it, because again, that's not easy. But I think it's really important because I also feel like sometimes with artists, like, and I know this happens a lot with dancers, where people are like, oh, people think dancers are dumb, like that we dance because we can't talk. And I'm like, that's not necessarily the same. It's like some dancers dance because they feel more comfortable expressing themselves with their bodies. That doesn't mean they're dumb or they can't talk. They just would like to choose another way of expressing themselves better. But also, like, when we don't get to talk, then like other people just start making the stories for us, or we're just like, this blip. It's like, oh, hey, here's Bianca. Okay, bye. Like, you don't get to know anything else about her. So, and like leading into my question of, have you done artist talks or things before? Do you like them? Is this weird? All of that.
I have not. This is like I said, this was like my first real event. I haven't really done an artist talk before. Hopefully I get to do more. It's fun. Like I want to be open about what my art is.
How was it opening night when you were talking about your art to the audience? Because that's like a live audience.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, but like once I started hearing it, what everyone had to say, I just felt more comfortable. Like I knew that you were all like strangers to me, but it kind of just felt like I was telling this to my friend. It reminded me of church. Every time like I'm in a large gathering of Filipinos, it just makes me feel like I'm in church, because that's just like growing up. I grew in a really Filipino town. When they would all be together, it would be when we would go to church. And what was his name? He started doing that poem which sounded like a homily. I was like, wow, it's like the setting, how everyone was sitting together. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this is church.
Yeah.
Like I can just say whatever, but I mean not like whatever, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah. Just felt like I was with my cousins or something.
Hey.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Oh,
Just kidding. Go ahead, Mika. Go ahead.
first artist talk, yes, but like I've been talking to people, to a crowd when I was back home and doing my activism. But it's different when you talk about how you open up to other people because you're not sure if they're ready to hear it.
Mhm.
Also, you have the doubts that maybe you have your what's that? Your you have that side of you that tells you you're a fraud. What's that
Oh,
symptom called?
imposter
Yeah,
syndrome.
like you always have that imposter with you. So when you talk, like right now, like I can hear it beside me just saying, "Shut up, Nico." But yeah, but the more you do it, the more you hear yourself talking about it, I think it helps block out that voice. Plus, hearing questions that you always thought about but never really talked to somebody with, like being asked those questions, just opens you up more. So I think it's good.
Cool.
Well, I've done artist talks before, and I was an educator when I was a dancer. I was an educator as a makeup artist, and so I'm really familiar with talking to big crowds. I still think it's weird, especially on Zoom. And I mean, honestly, because I have like no attention span, I was thinking, who watches these things? I'm just like, they're just gonna like fast forward to things. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting because people do. It's like, and it's odd because sometimes people watch these things like years later or like
Yeah,
months later,
seriously.
and they're like, I was on YouTube and I saw you talking about it, and you're like, oh, cool.
Will this be recorded on YouTube? Like they can watch it back?
Yes, you can watch it back. So this is a
Right.
live stream right now, and then it just stays like as a it will be there and uploaded and stuff and
Okay.
all that good stuff. I'll make like a
On
nice
the
thumbnail.
internet forever.
Yeah, it's on the internet forever. It will be somewhere, even if I try to delete it, which I won't. It will still be floating somewhere. Oh yes, Facebook. It's already on Facebook, so like it's to data banks everywhere already as we speak. um, Question: what do you want to see for the Filipinx art community? Like, what would you like to see, or what would you like to happen next for us?
Um, what I have been wanting is a platform of some sort that's like a magazine or well, I guess they don't do magazines so much anymore, but maybe a digital magazine, a blog or something where it's about the Philippine diaspora. I don't know if I said that right. Um, where we can and especially for our Filipino Americans, because I've looked it up and I've seen some in Canada. It's the older generation. They're not stuff like with hip hop and street culture and just being an immigrant. We don't have anything like that, and I would love to see that.
I think what I would like to see more of, uh, just more experimentation, just more like fearlessness, you know, for like other artists to just jump into things that like are just so uncommon, you know, because especially being an artist, it's like it's not one of the most supported careers by parents, you know. Um, but for me, I was just looking into the history of other Filipino artists, and they're out there, you know, like there's this artist, Pasita Abad. She passed away, but she was a multidisciplinary artist. And, you know, I feel like she made huge bounds for just being a Filipino woman in fine art. And she did art in the Philippines and America. Same thing with this other artist, Vicente Silva Manansala. He is an artist from Pampanga. He also died. I don't know. I think he died in 1980 something. But he's also um, a Filipino who he left the country. He he had a really traditional fine art education. I forgot who it was who taught him. I can't remember the name, but I know he had also pretty much worked with Picasso. And, that just shows that there, even back then, there were Filipinos making this choice to go into art and just create, just making their own paths for themselves, really. And I just want to see more of that and reflecting on other parts of history like that aren't really talked about.
Actually, my ancestors were artists. My grandfather was the landscape artist of the town and the albulario, and my great uncle was the portrait artist, which is what I am. So it's in the blood. I mean, they're there. It's just they just might not have been as prominent. I mean, and they were fishermen and farmers. They had to make a living. It's just different when you in today's day and age, and then also coming to America.
For me, I want to see more collaboration, or more a collective movement. Not necessarily unity, but more of just like we recognize that we are a group that exists, and then we tell people that this group exists. Plus, also in terms of the art that's coming out, I want to see more teeth, more something that bites back. So it's easy to show something that's easy to swallow by the common person, but I want to see something that could trigger something to people, something more disruptive. Yeah.
I'm with Miko. I want to see I want to see more collaboration. Obviously, I love collaboration. I think collaboration is great, and I honestly don't I think this works with us just Filipinx artists surviving, is that we all have to acknowledge each other and be with each other and be for each other and not want to be I'm the brown person who won. But it really has to be us pushing for each other and working together when we can. And it's really hard because part of it is opportunities sometimes are few and far in between, and that means we have to make our opportunities for each other and for ourselves, which is a lot. It can be a lot. Organizing anything can be a lot. So it's just if there's any Filipinos out there with money or organizing skills, hey, or honestly, part of it is we all have to learn how to do different things so that we can produce each other and ourselves. And it's not, I don't actually, honest, it's not fun. I don't think it's fun when you have to do everything, but there's but when things are new, as we're coming out there, those are the kind of decisions we have to make so that we all can keep having work and we all can keep having opportunities. We can't leave it to just one or two people and then just hope they're gonna do it. It's we just have to learn all the skills right now by ourselves so that we can keep moving forward, and then hopefully when we build up, then we can go back just to doing the things we really love. No one wants to do everything. Well, maybe I lie. Some people do like doing everything, but for most people, that's a lot. And what money?
And Trixi,
yeah, I agree
with what you said earlier about counting the brown people. That's what we used to do at dance auditions. I don't know if you still do that, but we would count the Filipino girls and say, okay, she's or Asian, not even just Filipino, Asian. You would count and be okay, maybe they'll hire two of us or something, and you would scope out the competition. And we would all get so excited to do shows like The King and I or Miss Saigon, because it's oh my gosh, we all get to work together.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's such like a different nice thing that's changing, where it's just like there are more shows, there's more opportunities where like, yeah, we don't just have to be the one token. It's just like, and it's dumb, but even having like 2 Asian people are a lot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
This
a lot.
is a beautiful thing that happened as a makeup artist. I was on a shoot for a magazine cover for Harrah's
Mhm.
in San Diego, and so the Asian girl comes in. Then there's a black girl that comes in, and the Mexican girl comes in, and I'm like waiting for the blonde. It's like, where's the blonde? She's coming, and then another Asian girl comes in, and I was like, this is it? There's 4 girls. It's like, oh my gosh. And they said, well, they cast it that way because that's kind of what you would see at the casino. And I was like, that's amazing that they didn't, usually like being a makeup artist all these years, the focus would be like on the blonde in the middle, and they would have like the token somewhere. And that time it didn't happen. And I felt so happy to see the progress.
Yeah, for the actual models to be like representative of the people who actually go to that place.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
Imagine that.
Miko, did you want to say something? I feel like I interrupted you a second ago, but if not.
No.
Okay, cool. Okay, one more question. What are you up to next? What are you up to? Well, listen, this is our like last thing. What are you up to next? Where can we find you? This is like shameless plug time. So just like let us know. And I did put everyone's, I'm going to post it one more time in the comments. You can find everyone's Instagram handles. So let's start with Liza. We'll just go unbox that way.
Ooh, I have 2 really exciting things coming up. I'm part of an art installation at Grand Park. It's opening on February 25th. It's called Illuminate LA Memory Collective, and I have 2 pieces in that. And then also, I am a 2023 Lakers in the Paint grantee. So on March 22nd, I get to accept a giant check on the floor at the Lakers game.
Nice.
And
Yes.
I think I'm the only Filipina in the whole program. There's 15 exhibiting artists, and there's 10 grantees. I'm one of the grantees.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats
Awesome.
representing us.
Yeah.
Yes. Bianca.
Cool. Sorry, what was the question again? Oh, what am I up to?
What are you up to? Tell us where we
honestly,
can find you, all that good stuff.
I don't know. I'm just around San Diego. You can find me just walking out there. I don't know. I'm still a student. I'm still trying to figure things out. Maybe I'll find another show. Who knows? You can follow me on my Instagram. Follow my story there. My whereabouts, my happenings. I don't know. Maybe you can find me at the zoo. I like going to the zoo. Yeah.
Bianca, I'm just gonna walk around town and be like,
Nope.
Yeah.
Don't tell your
It's your friendly
stalkers.
neighborhood, Dean. Yeah. But maybe you can find me at SDSU at more shows there if I get accepted, which I hopefully do.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah.
For me, I'm releasing a new song next month. I think it's the first all Tagalog dance track or house track.
Nice.
Dope.
I mean, I've been getting good reviews and good feedback from it, so I'm hoping it starts something. But I do have more coming up after that. Because there's a wave now happening in house music where non-English tracks are more popular, but it's almost all like Latino or Spanish or or African. So I figure it's time for people to learn Tagalog.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then my other project, my band, we're releasing an EP this Friday.
Nice.
And I have a photo exhibit soon with Trixi.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're gonna get that shit together.
Yeah. Or I also have a dance film I'm working on now with a local artist for
Nice.
the queer movement by
Oh, for Queer
Disco
Movement
Riot.
Fest?
Yeah,
Yay! Awesome. 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 That's great. Awesome. Congratulations. That's
thanks.
exciting. Okay. So for me, first off, of course, I'm going to talk about Motions and Emotions. The exhibit is open until this Sunday, February 19th it closes at 3 p.m. So you can see all these beautiful people's artworks until then. Or, you can just follow them on Instagram and also see it there. But please come see the exhibit. It's a free exhibit with a $5 donation, suggested donation. So yeah, come see it. Come see it. Come have fun. See all the different Filipinx artists. It's a variety because there's like painting, collage, there's embroidery, and film. So like it's a pretty cool exhibit. I also want to say for myself, I am performing this Friday for my friend Marcia. Her show is called America's Biggest Issues, and it's from her point of view as someone who grew up in Mexico, immigrated here, has been dancing here, has been been here for a long time making art and seeing all these different things happening in her community. So I'm really excited to be a part of that. I also will be performing for Visionary Dance Leader, which is the company I dance for regularly. I'm a comedy dancer for them. I'll be dancing like the last weekend of March and April. Honestly, just follow my Instagram if you want to see all the different things I'm up to. And then Miko and I will be working on this art. Gonna be great. So stay tuned for that. I want to say thank you to the artists. Thank you guys, Miko, Liza, Bianca, for being here and taking time. I know, Liza, you're super tired because you've been up for a while, so I super appreciate this. And you might even be going to work after. So I don't really know because I know sometimes that's what it is with makeup. But I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate you all being able to share your voices and like even if it's weird, just doing it anyways.
Yeah.
So that you're able to be heard. Because this shit like really is important, We are some younger brown kid saw us and it was like, oh, okay, I can do this too. So that's really exciting, and it's always exciting just to put that out in our world. So yes. This is it. Thank you, everyone who is watching. Thank you, everyone who will be watching in the future.
Yeah,
You're
thanks, Trixi.
welcome. Yes, I loved having you. We will have more of these artist talks with the different artists, but I really wanted to get this one out because the exhibition is closing soon. But yes, you'll see more of these wonderful motion and emotions artists. And I really do. I mean, Miko, we're just stuck in each other's lives for different reasons. But Liza and Bianca, I hope this is the start of like more. Like, I know I said it, but like, I really do mean it. I hope this is the start of more relationships, not just like between us, but like between all of us.
Yeah.
Because everyone like I met was like really freaking cool. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
We just gotta support each other, uplift each other.
Exactly.
That's how community is.
And find Bianca at the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catch me down there.
Okay, thank you, everyone. See you
Thank
next time.
Yeah.
Good night.